Chapter 14, Mr. Moore's House. Mr. Moore has a house with 5 rooms. In one of the rooms the family has their meals, that is the dining room. They have their dinner in the dining room, they dine in the dining room. After dinner they go into another room, that is the living room. Here they sit in big chairs and read their books in the evenings. There is also a kitchen in the house. The kitchen is the room where Mrs. Moore makes the food. How many rooms are there in Mr. Moore's house? There are 5 rooms in it. Where does the family have their meals? They have their meals in the dining room. Into which of the rooms does the family go after dinner? After dinner, they go into the living room. What is the kitchen? That is the room where Mrs. Moore makes the food. What is in the living room? In the living room, there are some big chairs and 2 small tables. Are there chairs in the dining room too? Yes, but the chairs in the dining room are not so big. Is there a table? Yes, the family has their meals at a large table in the dining room. Every room in Mr. Moore's house has 4 walls at the sides, a ceiling at the top, and a floor to walk on. From the ceiling of the room hangs a lamp. The lamp gives light in the room in the evenings so that people can read. In the day it is light, but at night it is dark. People cannot read when it is dark. There are chairs and a table on the floor of the dining room. Mr. Moore's house has 2 gardens, one at the front and another at the back of the house. When we come through the front garden into the house, we first come into the hall. In the hall, people hang their hats and coats when they come in through the door. The dining room, the living room, the kitchen, and the hall are all on the ground floor of the house. On the first floor of the house, there are 3 bedrooms. Mr. and Mrs. Moore sleep in one bedroom, Thomas sleeps in another bedroom, and Lucy and baby sleep in a 3rd bedroom. On which of the floors is the dining room? The dining room is on the ground floor. On which floor is Lucy's and baby's bedroom? It is on the 1st floor. How do we get from the ground floor to the 1st floor? We go up the stairs to get to the 1st floor. On which floor is Thomas's room at school? His room at school is on the 2nd floor. The school is a big house. It has a ground floor, a 1st, and a 2nd floor. In some schoolrooms, there are many chairs and tables, one for each of the children. Each of the children in Thomas's school has a small table and a chair. Not every child has a table and a chair. Baby does not have a table and a chair, but each of the children in Thomas's school has. Does each of the people in the Moore family have a room? No, not each of the persons, only Thomas has his own room. Lucy does not sleep alone in her room, she and baby sleep in one room, they sleep together. Mr. and Mrs. Moore also sleep in one room. Thomas and Lucy go to school together in the morning. Lucy does not go alone, she goes together with Thomas. Baby does not sleep alone, she sleeps together with Lucy, but Thomas sleeps alone in his own room. How many rooms are there on the 1st floor of the house? There are 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. Every morning Mr. Moore takes a cold shower in the bathroom. Mrs. Moore and the children do not take cold showers, they take hot baths in the bathtub every night before they go to bed. When they take hot baths, they have hot water in the bathtub. Hot water is very warm water. Before the meals, the children wash their hands in the sink. Their hands are very dirty when they come in from their play in the garden, but when they have washed themselves, their hands are clean. They put hot water in the sink and wash their hands with soap. Soap and water are good things for dirty hands, Mrs. Moore says to her children. Baby cannot wash herself, she is too small, but Thomas washes himself. Lucy can wash herself too, she is big enough for that now. Thomas and Lucy both wash themselves.